All right, we're back here for another issue of Bingo Topics where we look at a myriad of things and compile them to one video, and we'll see what we can get to. But we're going to look at our upcoming opponents on the schedule, some things affecting them, as well as Jaylen Herz, why he's back in a big way, and what they're saying about the Eagles, some important caveats. What's up, it's your boy Centron, come back at you with another analysis video, and I kid you not, that's my real name. So first up here, what they're saying, no one closes out games better than the Eagles. So we're just gonna dive into the topic. The philosophy on this team is the lines, the O-line and the D lines. So the teams are basically built around both these units, and stats and recent history would show that when you do so, you have you give your team a great nucleus to build around, protecting the quarterback and getting after the quarterback. But we're able to, primarily on offense, bully other teams. So our time of possession, you look at like the last two games, it's close to 40 minutes. It's very lopsided. Also when we played the Bucks as well, it was pretty. There's a pretty big disparity between the times. And we had 38 minutes versus the Rams. And when we get the ball, and we'd like to come away with more than 3 points, but on those drives, we are eating up 7, 8, potentially even 9 minutes or more of clock. And it's like 13, 17, 15 play drives. And we're not giving the Rams, opposing teams, in this case the Rams, a chance to get off the field, as well as their defense is tired. When Aaron Donald came out the game, I'm like, it went from, okay, well, that's the one guy to worry about. It was like, okay, laissez-faire, we're cool. And he had to come out on multiple drives because we just were driving the length of the field and there was nothing they could do about it. He was already ineffective the way we were dealing with him. Not that he's not a great player still. No, we had the game plan for him. But it demoralizes the defense. And when you can't get off the field, you said you're tired, war of attrition, stamina, you're not be able to give 100%. And then mentally, you're not going to put you're all into it. It subtly creeps into your subconscious and affects your performance. I mean, we're only human. So us being able to control the games in the trenches, man, it goes a long way towards, like saying here, closing out games. And on the offensive side, our guys, our teams are built for this. We can just lean on teams and be dominant and kind of just direct them in whatever way, shape, or fashion they want to. And then on the defensive side, when they do get the ball back, in these games they've been behind, so they're gonna have to throw it. That lends to Hassan Reddick being able to close the game with 2 back-to-back sacks on 3rd and 4th down. So it also plays into our hands. So just master stroke by Howie Roseman putting these teams together, especially along the O-line and the D-line. We've got depth. We got not just depth but quality. Some of these guys could start on other teams, like you're seeing with Sua Opeta coming in. He could be a starting guard on a lot of teams, more than a handful. And as well as our D-line, our 3rd, 4th guys coming in rotation. 2nd, 3rd stringers could start for some teams out there. So just a well put together, team. And it starts with both of those lines, but primarily in this case, our O-line. So let's look at an interesting note about the hierarchy this week. So we're rated number 2, and we're flying under the radar. And it's not a position that I mind being in. You see the Chiefs being talked about, see the Dolphins being talked about, with their extreme speed and, scoring and fun. The Cowboys, up and down, roller coaster. 49ers, steamrolling everybody. But I just think it's unsustainable for the 49ers. They're gonna be some bumps in the road, and we're gonna see what they're made of. And also, their weapons. Are they gonna, history says they're not gonna stay, all the way healthy. Deebo Samuel's missed games in the past. Christian McCaffrey is slated for 405 touches, and he's been, injury prone, and just, those numbers for a back, especially he's slated for like 300 carries. History says he breaks down at some point. George Kittle, we'll see. He missed some games last year as well, and as well as I'm forgetting that Brandon Ayuk. He missed some games already, so we'll see how that unit goes. Yeah, I don't think everybody's going to make it throughout the season, and that's just the nature of the game. So we will see, but like we're a disrespected 5-0. I'll take it because people are underestimating us, even if by this much, and I'll take that much for us, it's a boon because we know our guys work hard. All right, this guy has been activated from for his 21-day practice window. One Nakobe Dean. The only problem I have is how do you put him back in a starting position on the field when Nicholas Morrow is playing so well? He's got the green dot right now with Cunningham on the weak side and Morrow at the mic. If you just reinsert him like that, I think it sends the wrong message to the locker room that, guys are just being gifted positions. Like, granted, he was the starter, but, one, if he comes in and he plays underwhelmingly and you suffer through it and he doesn't get better, what does that say to the other guys? Similar to the Quez Watkins thing, if they don't insert Olamide Zaccheaus primarily, it's going to be to the detriment of our team because Quez, like on that bubble screen, for whatever reason, he didn't give full effort, and you can't have that. Jaylen, I think that's why, looking back at it, Jaylen didn't go to him when he was wide open. Maybe he saw him, and maybe he thought, I can't trust this guy to catch the ball. So it didn't even register for him to look to him. Maybe he had a quick tick, scanning, locked the eyes with him for a second and then moved on to Devonta. The only I think he has unwavering trust in is Devonta Smith. Well, also, you could add Swift to that, A.J. Brown and Dallas Goedert. But, going back to our number 17 here, I really feel like it feels bad to say this, but he's got to sit and learn again this year because Nicholas Morrow is playing lights out. And unless he comes in and immediately validates that, like by making plays and playing at the same level or higher than, which I don't think is possible, of Nicholas Morrow, which, it's a really tough, hard ask. I don't think you can do that, just take him off the field. I think, you should try to rotate him in. Where's even the talk of Christian Ellis? I haven't seen nor heard of his name. He disappeared because the linebackers have been playing that good. And I'm not even saying we're getting excellent play from them all the time or, excellent play across the board, but they're more than the adequate that we thought we were going to get coming into the season. So it brings about a big question. I'm glad I don't have to be in a position to make that decision because if it was up to me, I'd sit him, rotate him in there, of course, to get him some snaps. But I would not displace that position just because he's coming back from injury and he was promised the position. And he won it in training camp. I believe that, outside of a couple positions, this is one that could be up for fluctuation. All right, let's look at Jaylen Herz. He's back scrambling. So we saw him rush 15 times for 72 yards and a touchdown. It's a goal line vulture thing where he steals from his fantasy football teammates, which I don't care about, but it is a little bit annoying that we let him, thieve it. But, man, like, it was great to see him back. But at the same time, I'm like there were 2 or 3 runs, I'm like, ooh, right where he got to the point of contact, I'm like, damn, how's this going to go? So I am concerned for QB1. I do want to see that number of carries reduced. I only want to see it, featured where it's, absolute necessity. But you could say at times it was because we, facing on those, key conversions, 3rd down and 9, 3rd down and 7, 3rd down and 9, I think at least 3 times where he converted, where we, might have been getting off the field. But, you just really want to see him pick his spot. So it's a careful balancing act. You don't want to let him do it too much, and you don't want to let him sit back there like he was in the first 3 games, maybe 4 games, where he looked tentative. He didn't know what to do. Because, they're rushing him different this year, and it creates different lanes and different opportunities. Like, he did a double spin out of the pocket, rushing into the pocket, and then, double spin out. if teams like, Brock Purdy had to tell last year, he do this, spin, those spin, teams caught on to it. He had to stop doing it because, it's out there on tape that you like to favor that. And any, tendency you put out there, teams are going to, dissect down to the, DNA and identify it, find it, and use it to their benefit, use it to their advantage. So it worked in that instance because it's not something that he's really ever done. But yeah, man, he's gonna have to find different lanes, different show different patience, both in rushing and with when and where and how. So, but he is back. I'd like to see him being a little bit more conservative, but it was great to see that one does still have that ability, and he's just been keeping it under wraps, sort of. All right, so the upcoming opponents, hopefully we pummel them. The opponents that we have upcoming, yeah, they're doing some injury news. So you see the guy here, AVT, Elijah Vera Tucker, suffered Achilles. He's going to be out for the rest of the season as a right tackle. Feel bad for the guy, but that is a chance for us to feast. His backup coming in has been pressured on like 15 pressures and 251 snaps. Yeah, not good. But yeah, Lane Johnson's allowed 11 on 651. But we'll see. I mean, yeah, he was grading out, decently. But that's Hassan Reddick's spot, and I expect him to be able to capitalize, and especially coming off, his recent explosion. He's had 3 sacks in the last 2 games. So we'll see if he's able to exploit that right side, as well as get into further analysis later in the week about where the weak points are on that Jets line, so we can pressure the hell out of Zach Wilson. In Miami, Devin Achane is dealing with a knee injury, expected to miss multiple games. Don't know if he's going to go on IR, but the guy's averaging 12.1 a carry. That's not a reception. That's a fucking carry. That's ridiculous. But he would be a key explosive element missing from that Dolphins offense. But hey, like we saw with Jaylen Waddle missing the game and they go up and score 70 against the Broncos, it might not even be a factor because they're just so explosive everywhere. Mostert, is a 4-3 guy as well. Yeah, it's crazy how much speed they have down there in South Beach, but we'll have to deal with it regardless. But this will be one guy that's missing from the bunch. But anyways, we'll get up out of here on that note. But you're not even watching, though. It's all good because I love talking about the Eagles and love making these videos. So we're going to get up out of here, like I said. But as always, it's fly, Eagles, fly, and let's motherfucking go. Like, comment, share, subscribe. Thanks for watching. Check me out at Centron Anime, Centron Life, or Centron Laughs, or other social media.